very warm welcome, viewers. You're watching This is Exclusive with me, Rakshita Mishra. Let's get started with all the top stories we are tracking in this bulletin. Look at the headlines. Illegal game zone in Rajkot Mall gutted by massive blaze, killing 28, majority of victims being children. Glaring lapses come to light. Documents show Rajkot gaming zone had just one exit and the firefighting equipment was kept wrapped up. Rajkot Police Commissioner confirms Republic Newsbreak says illegal gaming zone was being operated without an NOC. Another fire tragedy shocks the country. 7 newborns die in a fire at an East Delhi Children's Hospital. And the Delhi Baby Care Hospital owner, Dr. Naveen Khichi, is now arrested by Delhi police after fire kills 7 newborns. Because we're going to get you exclusive inputs on the Delhi fire tragedy as the owner, Dr. Naveen Khichi, is now in police custody. He was earlier absconding. Now, this evening, he has been arrested. And remember, viewers, we're getting in more information regarding this man, Naveen Khichi. Now, what we know is that, in fact, two arrests have been made. One is the owner and another doctor, Akash, has been arrested by the police, by the Delhi police, after the fire led to deaths of 7 newborn babies. Cops have made 2 arrests in the Delhi Child Care Hospital fire. Now, what we know is that Dr. Akash was on duty during the fire on Saturday night, and he too has been now taken into custody. And the owner, Dr. Naveen Khichi, was on the run right after the blaze and the news, of course, broke out about this. 7 newborns died and he was on the run. We are getting in more updates, in fact, for you, that there is some more information about Dr. Naveen Khichi's past. He has been charge-sheeted in another case back in 2021. So there has been a past record of this man that has now come under scanner. In the meanwhile, let us tell you what the NCPCR team that had visited the hospital has to say.
दिल्ली के विवेक विहार इलाके में एक नियोनेटल केयर हॉस्पिटल में जिस प्रकार आगजनी की दुखद घटना हुई है वो अत्यंत निंदनीय है और इसमें साफ तौर पर जिम्मेदार अधिकारियों की लापरवाही सामने आई है। वहाँ पे ऑक्सीजन की जिस तरह रिफिलिंग की जा रही थी वो बहुत ही हजार्डस था। हमने अपने एक सदस्य को वहाँ भेजा था, वो विजिट करके आई हैं। जैसे उनकी फाइंडिंग हमको मिलेंगी हम दिल्ली सरकार को नोटिस करेंगे और भारत सरकार को अपनी कार्रवाई से अवगत करा के उचित रिकमेंडेशंस करेंगे। एक बात जो मैं यहाँ बताना चाहूँगा वो ये, अस्पतालों के नियोनेटल केयर यूनिट्स में आगजनी की घटनाओं को रोकने के लिए आयोग ने 2021 से लगातार दिल्ली सरकार को कई सारे निर्देश दिए, लेकिन दुर्भाग्य की बात यह है कि दिल्ली सरकार ने कभी उनका जवाब नहीं दिया। अगर दिल्ली सरकार समय रहते काम करती तो ऐसी दुर्घटनाओं से बचा जा सकता था।
There you have some more reactions have come in. In fact, we have learnt about this owner, the owner of the child care center, the hospital, Dr. Naveen Khichi. there has been a past criminal record. In fact, my colleague Akil Jamil, who has been getting us all the live inputs and the latest inputs on the story, is now joining us on This Is Exclusive. Akil, what are you picking up? 2 arrests have been made by the Delhi police and the questioning, we believe, is currently underway. What are you picking up?
Well, Rakshita, the latest update that we are getting right now for our Republic viewers is that the main accused, the mastermind in this case, has been arrested by the Delhi police this afternoon. So what has happened? Let me just give you how this entire incident unfolded. When around 11:30 p.m. when this incident happened, at that time, if you see, I would like to request my VJ to pan and show you the visual of this baby care hospital. Here, 12 patients were there. All those babies were there inside this hospital when that fire broke out. And after that, if you see, nurses were also there. They left initially from that very place. And when the neighbors over here from Vivek Vihar and the DFS team and the Delhi police service team reached over there, they found that 12 babies were inside. And one by one, after breaking the glass shield over there, they went inside and took out all those babies. So 6 babies were, when they were taken to the hospital, doctors have declared them dead. And one more baby who was critical, and according to the doctor, this morning itself, that baby succumbed to the injuries. Right now, 5 babies are still, if you just talk about, because the age group of all those babies are between 15 days, 20 days to approximately 3 months. Right now, I'm joined by one of the neighbors who live in this area, just next to this very place. Here you can see, this is the place where that incident happened. Just next to this hospital is a boutique center. You can see the condition of that boutique center. There's nothing which is left. If you see the hoarding boards over there, nothing is left over there. And if you see the third house, which is in which an ATM is there, IndusLand Bank ATM is there. And if you move towards my left, if you will see the 4th house over there, so that's the 4th house. I'm joined by the 4th house resident who is a neighbor over here, and he has seen the entire visual, because while he was sitting at his residence, he has noticed that there were 5 to 6 blasts, one after another. And let me just speak to that person, and he will give us the exact account what has happened. मुझे ये बताइए किस तरीके से ये इंसिडेंट हुआ?
कल रात को 11 बजे के आसपास बहुत तेज़ ब्लास्ट की आवाज़ आई। उस ब्लास्ट के बाद हमने अपने आप को घर के अंदर बैठे थे, हमने देखा कि एकदम से सारे शीशे टूट के नीचे गिरने लगे। हमें समझ ही नहीं आया कि एकदम से क्या हुआ। जैसे हम बाहर आए तो देखा यहाँ पे इतनी भयानक आग लग गई थी। किसी तरह हम अपने आप को बाहर निकाला, बच के बाहर निकल के भागे। तब देखा कि मतलब यहाँ पे इतनी तेज़ ब्लास्ट हो रहे हैं और इतना सिलेंडर फूट रहे हैं और यहाँ पे अंदर बच्चे फंसे हुए हैं और
So here you see what they are saying. If you talk to the neighbors over here, they are saying it is an utter negligence of the owner who basically owns this premises, this hospital, this baby care hospital. So still it is yet to be discovered, because right now the police team is investigating the team. The Delhi police team has formed 3 different teams in this case, and the mastermind in this case, Naveen Khichi, has been arrested. Yes, Rakshita.
This man, Dr. Naveen Khichi, there, there is in the past an FIR, a case was registered against him. What we're picking up, tell us more about that case. That earlier too, in 2021, there was a case registered against him over violence that was inflicted upon infants in his child care hospital.
Well, absolutely. If you see, Naveen Khichi is not the regular offender. This is not the first time when he has done something wrong. Earlier, he has done something wrong of a similar kind of event, but nothing, some sort of a cylinder blast. What has happened in that incident, in another, because right now, if you see, for the last 2 to 3 years, this hospital is going on in this premises. Apart from that, there was another hospital which was going in the name of this baby care hospital itself, just a few miles away from this very place. What has happened at that point of time? There was a patient from UP. She has come over here for treatment of her son. So what has happened when they basically came over here? Naveen has repeatedly told for them and asked them some kind of because what we have seen, if you just go through by the judgment, it's there that Naveen basically threatened them that if you go to if you complain to the police, then there will be something which is going to be wrong against you. Because what has happened in that case when a staff member of this very hospital has attacked his son. He's basically attacked his arm, and then what has happened? Then they complained about it, and they said that they requested Naveen, if you are not going to take action against your employee, then we are going to take action and we are going to complain against police. But Naveen, in the meantime, tried to threaten that patient and his wife. So if you see that matter went for a very long time, and in that case, what we have seen that Naveen has been the part of this same incident.
Absolutely, of course. And the case I was talking about, one of the nurses were accused of, in fact, hitting a baby. Then the child got injured. We'll keep a track. Thank you so much, Akhil. But right now, we are moving on to some big breaking developments that are coming in from West Asia. Now, Hamas has once again targeted Israel. What we are getting to know is that rockets have been launched. Big breaking right now, viewers. Hamas is claiming that it has launched a rocket attack towards Tel Aviv in central Israel. For the first time in nearly 4 months, Israeli military sounded sirens in Tel Aviv for the first time in months, and at least 8 rockets were reportedly launched from Rafah area in southern Gaza, and several were intercepted, the Israeli military says, and no injuries have been reported so far. And right now, we will get you more inputs from Ground Zero. But there you have the latest visuals coming in. Hamas, the terror organization, now firing rockets at Tel Aviv. Just after what happened in October, we do know the conflict, the war that is still underway, and thousands and crores of innocents have lost their lives on both sides, of course, in Israel. And right now, Israel continues its aggression against the people in Gaza. And now what we are getting to know is that Hamas has fired rockets at Tel Aviv. We do not have any official statement from Israel yet. But remember, there has been no abatement of aggression right now. There were talks of a ceasefire deal, but we do know that there hasn't been any sort of respite for the people of Gaza. And the terror group Hamas says that it has fired a large rocket. And even if I could read out what the Israel Defense Forces has tweeted, the IDF has tweeted that a barrage of rockets was launched from Rafah towards central Israel moments ago. Humanitarian aid has been going into Gaza through the Kerem Shalom crossing this morning, and now rockets are being fired at central Israel. And in fact, we are getting a reporter from Ground Zero, Terry Newman. Terry Newman is joining us live on the broadcast for more. Terry, tell us the latest we have. It's been months, and after 4 months almost, that Tel Aviv heard sirens. We see visuals of people in absolute state of terror. And what is the latest you're picking up?
Yes, well, good evening, and good evening to all of your viewers at home. The Hamas terrorists are continuing in their attempts to try and murder Israeli citizens. You have used the word Israel is continuing with the aggression against them. Madam, I think that is misleading and incorrect. On the 7th of October, Iran, via their Gazan arm called Hamas, viciously attacked Israel from the center and murdered over 1,500 people. They are continuing to attack through the north through their Lebanese arm called Hezbollah, and they are attacking through the south via the Houthis in Yemen. And they, as you know, a month ago sent 300 ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and armed drones at us. Now, we are doing our very best to protect our citizens, but there are limits. And let me tell you, madam, that whilst there is great pressure on Israel to stop the defensive measures we are taking in Rafah, to remove the terror organizations that are ruling those areas, we can see that they are still able to fire missiles at Tel Aviv, the economic center. This is the Mumbai of Israel. And therefore, we must do everything we can to remove this threat in order to protect our civilians.
Now, Terry, there were also reports of, the head of Mossad also, meeting the mediators, that is Qatar, and also, of course, this head of CIA. And there were, of course, hopes of some talks happening, in the coming days. And now this happening when this report emerges and this meeting happens. And right after, we see Hamas carrying out these attacks. How do you read it?
Our view is that we must keep on dismantling the Iranian empire and its terrorist apparatus wherever it appears. In parallel, as you can probably see here, I have the sign in support of the over 125 hostages that have been held in captivity in tunnels for over 220 days, who have been denied basic rights like seeing the International Red Cross. Therefore, we must keep on negotiating and doing whatever we can in order to get our hostages out. But at the same time, we must do everything in our ability to dismantle this Iranian web of terror. And we understand that we have to explain this to many of our allies around the world, both in India and in the West, because they are getting a slightly different picture. But the main message which we must be putting across is we must do both at the same time. We must fight terror as if there is no negotiation, and we must continue the negotiations to bring our hostages home as if there is no fight against terror.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Terry Newman, for joining us live on Republic TV and sharing your views and inputs on this development that we are right now breaking on. This is exclusive, viewers. You can see those sirens that have been sounded in Tel Aviv and the absolute state of chaos that unfolded right after the sirens were sounded, after Hamas launched rocket missiles there, rockets on Tel Aviv. It's a very important center. There's the economic center. And as Terry was telling us, and this, of course, marks another turn in this conflict, in this war against terror in West Asia. We shift our focus back home here in the country, viewers. Rajkot has been struck by a major fire tragedy. There was a fire at a game zone. It's a Sunday afternoon. It was Sunday morning. And of course, there were children and there were youngsters and the families who headed to such centers to enjoy the weekend and the holidays. But it turned tragic. At least 28 people have been killed, and mostly it's children who have lost their lives. Now, there are many of the lapses that have been uncovered in this case as far as the game zone is concerned. There was no fire NOC, viewers, let me tell you. There was fire equipment that was non-functional. It was kept wrapped up. It was never even used. There was no drills. And we are learning about even a very dangerous undertaking that the people who visit this game center were asked to sign, taking no responsibility of any mishap, of any accident. And now the families are looking for justice. They're seeking justice. They are holding the authorities and the owner of course of that place responsible as they look for closure. Here's a report to know more.
On Saturday, gamers flocked the TRP game zone, but little did they know that it would be their last. 24 hours ago, what started as fun day in Rajkot's TRP gaming zone turned into a death trap. Plumes of thick black smoke engulfed the gaming zone area. People ran for their lives in panic. The fatal inferno claimed the lives of at least 28 people, mostly children. Watch how within minutes the fire spread like wildfire, charring everyone in its way. The shattered families were unable to get a glimpse of their loved ones. A closer look at the facts of the case revealed glaring lapses. Lapses that have altered the lives of many families forever.
जिस तरीके से गेम सेक्शन में आग लगी, क्या नंबर्स है सर एम्स हॉस्पिटल राजकोट में?
सबसे पहले बहुत ही दुखद घटना है ये। हमारे पास हम बता दें, हमारे पास कोई भी मरीज इस घटना से रिलेटेड नहीं आया है। जब इनका पोस्टमार्टम पीडीयू हॉस्पिटल में हुआ, हमारी टीम ने उसको असिस्ट किया और उसके बाद अबाउट 16 to 17 बॉडीज़ पोस्टमार्टम के बाद हमारे पास यहाँ हमारी मोर्चरी में अभी हैं। कारण बताना मुश्किल है, वो फोरेंसिक का वो जांच का विषय है, बट चारिंग जो बच्चों की हुई है, डेड बॉडीज़ जो हमने देखी, वो या तो कपड़ों से हुई है जो उन्होंने पहन रखे थे, या फिर आग ही इतनी भयानक थी कि उसमें कोई बचने का तरीका ही नहीं था।
My colleague Gopi, in fact, has spoken to the Commissioner of Police in Rajkot. Let's take a listen in.
How was the place functioning without the basic fire safety measures? Yes, there were equipments which were not in functional state. That is what we've heard. How was the place functioning without basic fire safety measures?
No, they had fire extinguishers and they tried to use those fire extinguishers also. But probably the magnitude of fire and the kind of fire that took place, these extinguishers may not have worked effectively, and the proper fire hydrant system was being installed. It was not in the place. So that was a lapse which we are looking into it, and we'll try to ensure that it doesn't happen in the future.
So there are private stakeholders involved. So what kind of action are you going to take against the culprits who are responsible behind this heinous crime?
We have registered a case against 6 partners who were managing the entire gaming zone. With the offence has been registered under the IPC 304, 308, 337, 338, 114. One of the managing partners have been arrested. The other managers has also been arrested. We are on lookout for 5 other partners, and we have constituted special teams for investigation as well as to apprehend the absconders. We are trying that this investigation is completed in a quick span of time, and it is charge sheeted in the court.
So should Rajkot Municipal Corporation also not be questioned regarding this?
It is, it's like different departments have a different role to play. They are also doing a parallel investigations regarding the lapses on their part. We are looking into our lapses, and I hope we will take a better corrective action in the coming days.
And that's all we could pack in this edition of This Is Exclusive. But viewers, our prime time continues on the other side with my colleague Abhishek Kapoor.